name is George Penn. We hope you came here today to talk about what is already going on, and that is we are building a movement to restore our republic. I myself personally believe we don't have a democracy anymore because we are not represented anymore. You may disagree, but probably if you're here, most of you agree, something's got to change. And we who are avidly involved in this believe a lot has to be changed, and only we the people can change it. So the purpose of this is to try to sell you on the importance of the movement and have you, if you can't get involved in it, at least talking about it, because that's what's going to be needed. So I'm going to talk first and talk about movement building in general and how it applies, and then we got a lot of great speakers who are leaders of different groups that are already doing things in the movement. So the first question is, why do we need a movement in this country? Do we need a movement? If we do, why do we need a movement? So I'm going to have two videos in this thing. One's 5 minutes, one's 10 minutes. Thank God for all of you that I'm doing that. But I'm going to be talking around why I put them on here and what they are telling us. So I'm going to start with the first video, and when that's done, then I'll make some comments.
Let's move on to the next question. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what, you know what I mean?
What you saw at the beginning, what I put this up here is, the beginning of this, is we sat down, all we have in this country is arguing, period. We're not capable of talking, and we just split each other apart and polarize each other, and the system does that. And that leaves us dazed and disconnected in what we can do about it. And a lot of people say we can't do anything about it. And when I talk to a lot of people, I tell a lot of you, it's too late, we can't do anything about it. But the strategy of the system, it is the system that's broken. We have two parties that are part of the system, but it's the system that we need to change. Not blame one party or the other. We need to fix the system for both parties. And it's intentionally set up to do this. That gives both parties control. We have a hate, anger, polarization, confusion, misinformation. That keeps us doing nothing. That keeps us from forming movements. And that's what we want to change. We want to start moving so we can hold those accountable who will not make the changes to bring us to be the greatest country in the world. In the last 15 seconds, right, we have to first recognize that we have a problem. And our country is not going in the right direction. The people are not represented. Until we recognize that, and we that are working in this do recognize that, we can't turn this curve and get America to get back on the path that he so eloquently talked about at the end with emotion. Right? We used to be, and we can be. And that's what our movement is about, trying to get people to understand we expect more of the system. And that's what we want you to pick up this weekend. The Economist, I found this, every year does a rating of all countries in the world, what they have the scoring. The Economist is, a magazine for businesses to plan around their global economy. Right? That's what the Economist exists for. And so in 2018, you'll see, let's see if I got my other little thing here. You see at the top, the full democracy, flawed democracies, and there's worse than flawed democracies, but we're not, according to their calculations, we're not a full democracy anymore. We are flawed. Indeed, 24, according to their statements, are countries rank better in democracy than we do. Now, I don't know if we're 24 or 2 or 10 in your mind, but the point is, we probably, and I can only get back to 2006, we probably were at number 1 for a long time. I'm hoping we were. And when I don't want you to see part of our graph because it's too noisy and it'll distract you, I just shade it out a bit. But at the bottom you can see here, since 2006, we've been in a decline according to their analysis, the Economist. Right? So I want us to move up from 25. That's why I spend my life doing. Right? So we have problems in this country that we can't solve. And those of us who are engaged heavily understand we're not going to solve them until we have a government that works better for us and that tries to solve the problems rather than beat the other party. The system has to be fixed first. And so we have to build a movement. We believe it has to be a movement. The system that could fix it by itself will not fix it by itself. It's not advantageous to their goals of control and power. And so I'm just an engineer, and I might be able to tell you how to split an atom, but what do I know about democracy? I'm going to go to somebody that's famous with my second video and have her give her take on what it is. And this is a picture from what movie? Well, it's a bunch of old people, Game of Thrones. And what's her last name? Lawrence. Lawrence, okay, so at least some of you know her face, okay? I like to say Jennifer Lawrence is my favorite actress, and I don't watch movies.
If you're anything like me, you may find yourself constantly overwhelmed by everything that's wrong with politics. And when I say politics, I'm not talking about Democrats.
All right, so hope you believe her more than me if you don't believe me. The main points is we are not represented as citizens. The parties represent their interests and the funders' interests, and that's clear in many more ways than is shown by this research done here. The system will not fix itself. It is broken, it is corrupt, it likes being corrupt. The system likes being corrupt, and it makes sure that those who get ahead will be corrupt with them, or we will primary them out or get them out somehow. And the question is, how do we unrig the system? She pointed out to me, well, she said, first of all, we need to do this state by state. You're not going to go to Congress and get this fixed directly. We have to go working on Congress. We have to be lobbying them and such. Correct, but that's only one minimal strategy to a much bigger strategy in each state. And Wisconsin is taking this message with the people that are going to talk here today. And the three important elements that she made that are clear, and that's why I love this video so much, is this is where the professionals that have the money can make the tools that we grassroots people can't afford, right? We need to have conservative and liberal citizens understanding that they need to change, that change needs to be made, and we have to speak. We have to stop the polarization and the rhetoric and all of that stuff to do that. We need to be able to say the system is corrupt and not step back when they say no, it's not. Because some will want you to believe it's not. And we need to be calling out actions and system components that are corrupt. And then finally, the point of what is we're going to hear today is this needs to be a movement of the people and grassroots, or it's not going to happen. And that's what this weekend is that we thank you for coming to so that we can try to tell you of the importance of building this movement. John Kennedy said, those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. I believe our goal is to try to get the peaceful revolution called a movement. Right? I don't believe in violence. I believe it's going to be done by the people, and if the people don't do it, it won't happen. So let's have this peaceful revolution. And there are many things that have to be fixed. She talked about a few of them, other things that are going on. There's other things going on. Karen, where are you, Karen, here? So Karen's working, raise your hand, Karen, so that people want to talk to you. She's working on voting integrity, and she'll define all of what that is.
Election security.
Thank you, she's got the right terms. So there are other things going on now on this, well, maybe there is some, in some ways it's on here, I just don't know how to name it right. There are many things that need to be done, and it has to be done in the movement. And United to Men's role is to work on to get an amendment that we'll talk about this afternoon, actually, when I speak at the end of the day. But many things are needed in this movement. But this has to be done by the people locally. Thank you. And that's how we're going to get it done. You know, there's a few of us leaders in Milwaukee or Madison or La Crosse or wherever we are not the movement. You are the movement in Menominee. That's the point. You are the movement in Eau Claire, Wausau, Eagle River, and every place else. That's what it has to be, the people all over the state. And in order to do that, we have to work together, right? Groups that are interested in getting something done need to work together and start to say, how do we get this spirit maps, this work done? How do we get this amendment done? And help each other do that, in addition to the other things that are important to you. Right? That the movement is underlying to the things you want to work on today. And these are some of the groups, and many groups that are already working together. That's why they're up here. And I've worked with all of these groups, and depending on which communities, right? And then just about done here. The example that I'll talk about this afternoon, or maybe it's tomorrow when I really get into movement building. But and I've got a great team working up in Minocqua that are bringing all the right people together. And they just got 2 more communities that will be on the referendum in April: Eagle River and Rhinelander. That's where Minocqua is, about north of Wausau, if you don't know that area. And now they're working on Price County and turning in the signatures for 2 cities in Price County. This is what we mean by working together in this coalition. And we can talk to, any of us and any of these can talk to you about how does this work. Will you cross the line with us? That's what this is about. I'm here. I do this. This is my life because I want to get you to do what you can do. I won't define that down. But you all can do something, only if it's just talking up to the things that we'd like to get done. But right now, it is very timely that if you're going to do anything, talk to us about getting the fair maps work done that's going to be talked about today. This is, so I'm working on an amendment, and I'm asking people working on an amendment to give time to this, because we have to do this smart. This is a smart movement, right? I'm not pushing for people to go get referendum on, I'm pushing people to work on this for the next year. So, and you're going to have people talking about this afternoon and other things. We have to figure out our priorities in time, and we need to get them done. And I am ready to stop. And this is a map that they have, these counties. If you're in the other counties we want to talk to, and it's done.